Hi, I'm Michael from MDC, and now we're going to show you the 17HRT, HRT meaning hard roof tandem axle. So let's have a look at your van. To start our journey, we're going to talk about things that you do before you come and turn up to us to pick up your van. One is make sure that you got a brake controller in your car. The brake controller will assist you in your brakes on your van. Okay, with that you need the 12-pin plug, which has got the bottom 7 is exactly the same as a normal flat 7. All right, but we have another wire going to the number 12 pin, which gives you power for your breakaway system. The other thing is your 50 amp Anderson plug, so it's 50 Anderson plug. So that's going to help you with your charging of your batteries. So you've got a full battery system when you get to where you're going. Also guys, you need to remove the tow ball off your car. Now saying that, your tongue needs to look like this when you turn up. Okay, so ball off. Okay, so we can attach our receiver that goes on the DO35 or polyblock, whichever, so therefore we can get you on the road. On hooking up from your van to your car, guys, we have a DO35 hitch. All the same on the XT range, okay? So basically it's just the pin that goes underneath it. Basically once you're over the top, with the jockey wheel you wind down as far as it goes, as in like once the jockey wheel becomes loose, all ball weight is here, push the red button. That means it's locked on. Okay, so once this button is pushed and this little arc comes forward, that means it's locked on. To get it off, push the button down, push that back, release the button, and you open up the throat, and then you wind the jockey wheel off. But we're hooking up at the moment, so button down, and then 12-pin plug, plug that in just there, secure it. Your Anderson plug, 50 amp, charging of the batteries, plug that in, and then chain. By law, you have to cross the chains, okay? So it does a support roll for anything should happen. Okay, once you cross your chains, what it does, it acts as a cradle. So if anything should fail here, it falls into a cradle, so it supports the towing of the van. Obviously you'll know it's coming off. Instead of, if the chains were straight up and down to there, what it could happen is it could dig in, essentially flip on the car, and that's what we don't want. All right, so hence why you got to cross your chains. Also, breakaway unit. Now this must be attached to your chassis, not to your chains, all right? Has to be to the chassis of your car. So, easiest part on this car is around this bar that's here. If your van comes detached from the car, this, your breakaway unit, on this wire, it pulls out, okay? And then it activates the electric brakes that are in there. So the brake comes on so it doesn't career around the road or anything. Comes on, so you can push that back in, resets everything. And then jockey wheel up. So pull the pin, bring it up, make sure those pins go back in through here, handle up, handbrake off. You're done, you're ready to go. On your jockey wheel here, guys, every time you're taking it off from the car, be it camping, at home, whatever, what I would suggest is have the wheel running crossways across your van. Not vertical with the van, but crossways of your van. It seems to support your A-frame a lot better. But also, when you're reversing on, if you miss it a little bit, you're able to move on the wheel itself, not move the whole jockey wheel. So you're moving on the wheel first. So for safety reasons and so forth, and that, make sure you're having your jockey wheel run across your van. On all your caravans, guys, you have 4 stabilizers, okay? 2 at the front, 2 at the rear. All right, easy is take a bit of pressure off, pull the handle, pull them down so it's nice and vertical. Get your wind down bar, pop it in there, wind her out. Now, remembering that this is a stabilizing unit for your van. This is not a jack. This is not a jacking point, all right? Your jacking points are here, all right, just in front of that. Basically, if you did get a flat tire and so forth, put these down for safety reasons, but these are stabilizers only for your van. When you're hooking up your gas, check your O-ring, just make sure it's all perfect. Put it in the space provided. Once you've got the proper seal on there, you'll go hook up the rest of your kitchen, and then you'll come and turn on the gas. And here is your filling points for your tank, mains water pressure in here. So the one on the left is filling your water tanks, right is mains water pressure. All right, just underneath that is your breather for when you're filling up your tanks. When hooking up the mains water, you've got to get a 3/4 inch Nylex or Nita product to go in there so you can hook up to mains water. And then all your taps and everything would come live, but that's what you need to hook up to your mains water pressure. And this little bad boy, when you are hooked up to that, you can leave it closed and coming out of there. Everything underneath the van is all food grade. The poly tanks, the hoses, they're all food grade. So filling it up, do not use your garden hose. Go out to Bunnings and buy some food grade hose. The next one along is basically your shower. You've got 2 nozzles in there, hot and cold, and obviously the hot will come on if you're using your hot water. And this is your little valve, basically for flow of water, okay? When you're not in use, hang that up there. Then you've got your grey water. Now, grey water is from the shower and the sink inside, so therefore that's a flushing point. So you get the key, you open that up, you can flush that out. Stick your finger in there to get the right size hose that you're going to flush your grey water tank. Once your grey water is full and so forth, it's just down under the rear. Okay, you'll see a tap, you can open up and you dump it, but this is when you want to flush it out, get a bit of bad smells out of there because it's been there for a while. Another little feature is a tap on the front end. You know, if you need to wash your hands, the little ones that got dirty fingers or whatever want to wash their hands, once you've got your water pump on or plugged into mains water, right, this becomes activated. All right, so simple as just turn and tap. And then here, you've basically got 2 drawers and a little slide. We usually put a barbecue slide in there, but you can use it as whatever you like. Blue tabs down, pull out by the handles, go to lock into place. Blue tabs down, push back away. Now make sure you let the tabs go each time you're opening and closing, okay? Blue tabs down, bring it out, locks into place. These obviously fit whatever it fits. If it's too big, don't force it in there, okay? Blue tabs down, down and away. Just on the front doors, now that says they're washable. Don't put them in a washing machine. It's just running under a tap and shake them out and put them back. So you need to clean these every so often. So it basically goes on usage of van. All right, so every couple of months, just have a look if you use the van a lot. Just shake them out, run some water over them, clean them out and put them back in. On all your locks in your Caravan, guys, it's these ones here on the XT12. Basically what happens, when it pulls it into the seal on the inside, all right, and pulls it in as such, all right. When you're opening and closing, it has to be a medium lock, all right. So nothing as you're pushing these down and so forth, so it's really, really tight. You don't want that. So you want it up to about 80%. If you push them too much, too hard, and trying to create a tighter seal, as in plus 90, you are going to break them. They're going to break through there, all right. But if you need to readjust, all it is, that little nut there is a 10 mil nut. So it's going to undo quarter turn to maybe half a turn, all right. What it does is just pulls it inside here a little bit and just creates a little bit bigger seal on it. Pop these locks and you have a tunnel boot at the front of your van, all right. Again, whatever fits through that hole can fit. It's usually for your poles, your Ensuite, anything like that small enough to go in there. If you really want to, you can throw your fishing rods in there, all right. But just storage, tunnel boot across. Same as on the other side, okay. Again, goes all the way through. A couple of little items in here. Your manual wind down bar for your electric awning, your wind down bar for your stabilizers, and your kitchen leg, support leg, is also tucked away in here as well. When opening your tunnel boot, guys, open her up, but close them off, because when they come down, it'll scratch your paint job, chip your paint and so forth. So just close them up so you got a flat surface, but also when you're closing them back up, see it's going to hit the top, open it up, close them off. On your XT range, guys, through your door, this key here that's got the rounded edges and such, a big silver one, you usually got 2 big silver ones, but this one is your door. Okay, so unlocking your door, key in, turn to the front, handle to the front, opens it up. On this particular model as well, When you do lock it, it's key in, handle to the back, turn it to the back, key back, it's locked. When you want to be locking it from inside, internally, the little silver knob that's here, just turn it, it's locked. Also, when you want to open the door from the inside, because you've got to move the door handle to the front, right, it's up the inside. Don't pull it down because you're just locking it again. Up and open. When you want to separate your door, there's a little black lever here. You push up, it unlocks it, and the door's separated. When you want to click it back together, you grab the top, click, bottom, click, it's all back together. And this is how you operate the steps. So basically, just pull out and lock it into place. And when you want to put it away, slightly lift and just push. On all your vans, guys, you have recovery points. Now these recovery points are rated to 3 3/4 ton. All right, so therefore, basically what you've got to do is unhook from your car and hook up to these for safety purposes, because some good Samaritan might come up behind you, want to drag you out, and these can actually get ripped out because you're trying to snatch too much out of there. All right, so basically unhook from your car, recovery points will pull you out, not a problem. On your 17HRT, we've got your toilet. So to get to your toilet, obviously you unlock it, top button, bottom button, opens up. To fill, you need to just pop that down ever so slightly, bring that out, undo the top, water in there, fills up a little reservoir, right, and the water level comes up here on the side, so you know when it's full and when it's empty. Also, once it's full, you put the cap on, just pull it down ever so slightly and replace it back under there. So just swing it back away. Okay, so also when you're taking the unit out, it's just a little green level down the bottom, a little hatch. Basically lift that up and slide that out. You'll hear the unit itself closing this back up, right, because it's a level inside that basically just closes that back up. When you pull that out, hit that button, depressurize, put the wheels down on the ground, pop the handle down, it extends. All you do is go for a walk. Once you get to your dump point, obviously nozzle up, unscrew the top, comes out. You actually physically got to pick it up and turn it upside down to get all the gear out. Once you've done that, place it back on the ground, lid back on, turn it away, pop the handle again and go for another walk, come back to your van. For the chemicals that go in here, guys, this is a little measuring cup. So once you've done all the chemical things, guys, basically pick it back up and slide it back home. Okay, so for your electrics, pop your latches, close them back up. When you put up the top, main switch, kill switch, whatever you like to call it, turn that on. Individually, turn every bit and piece on, right? Something that you're going to use. So you're going to use your DC outlets if you want to plug anything in, your roof vents, your stereo. So the things that you want to turn them on there. Also on here, if something's not working with your electrics, turn them off. There's a little fuse in there. So basically hit it twice to reset, turn it back on. If there's any failures, there's a little ceramic fuse inside. Little needle nose pliers, basically take them out, have a look, see what size it is, and just replace. With your electrical panel, guys, this is how many volts you have in your battery system. Over here you have a key, all right? 13 volts is full, your full battery power. So basically with an AGM battery, you've got to keep them topped up all the time. So you don't want it to get down to 12.2 or below. Okay, so because an AGM battery, if you start losing power down to here, you're going to drop some cells, you're going to drop battery. Just remember, you keep this in mind. There's still maintenance on your van. Electrics is part of the maintenance. Your power source on the outside of your van is 15 amp. So when you get a 15 amp lead, you can plug it into the front. So you got 240 in. That comes in handy. One, if you want to top up your batteries, and two, if you got aircon, you have to be running on at least a 3 kVA or 240. And don't forget, when you're plugged in here, it's only when those 10 amp poles inside that they come alive. Also, when you're plugged into 240, guys, don't have your extension cord coiled really tight. It's got to have a little bit of space about it. So meter, meter and a half, as in loop wise. The RCD units will trip out and such, but so long loops. Now, whilst at home, if you haven't got a 15 amp at home and you need to charge it, go to Bunnings and buy yourself an adapter. It's called an amphibian adapter from 10 to 15, because you must maintain your batteries in your van. Okay, with any electrical problems, guys, what you need to do is come in and check your RCD unit. All right, see if it's tripped out. So if any faults come through, come and check this little unit first. Just a quick summary on your electrics, on your projector electrics in your vans, okay? It's just at the back of your fridge slide. Up the top, you got your modified inverter, 1000 watt, your DC to DC charger, and your 240 charger. Okay, so your 240 charger, obviously here you got a switch that turns it on, and this is where you can relate to. It goes through your battery type and so forth. Just at the top there, it's all calcium, gel, AGM, and wet battery. So therefore, if you do want to change out your batteries, you get onto that setting. So basically you can choose what's going on in there. Your IDC25 DC charger, obviously that relates to solar and so forth. Charging light, that'll be green. That means it's working. That's working off the solar. And then also if it goes to alternator, which is off your car. Okay, so if that flashes red, you know there's a little bit of a problem. If it's flashing green at the top, you know she's working fine. And obviously your 1000 watt modified inverter, you got to turn that on when you need to, when you want to use it, because what the inverter does, it converts all your battery energy to 240 energy. That's why you've got to plug into here. That's why in any van, if you've got 10 amp poles inside, basically they do not come alive until you're plugged into 240. This changes the 12 volt to 240 so you can plug things in. So this is a 1000 watt modified. So basically anything that you want to run, you check on the back of any unit. If it runs more than 1000 watts, well, you can't use it. If it's under that, you're gonna be fine. You also have a master switch, that's here. If that little lever there is popped out like that, that means things have tripped out. You pop that back up. All right, that's one of your master switches. And also you've got, just in there, you've got all these circuits where positive and negative come onto there. There's a little button on the inside of here, so that's how you reset everything. Okay, so you just push that button back in just to make sure it's all working fine. In your 17HRT, this is where your kitchen's located. Pop this open, we'll have a look. Secondary lock, come up, blue tab down, let blue tab go, pull it by the handle, bring it out, and making sure you lock it into place. Flip her over, there's a little lug that goes into a little hole on this side. Make sure it's all nice and even. Each one of these has got a little latch on it so they don't fall down once driving. Glass tops, pop up. Your kitchen leg is in your tunnel boot at the front. Grab that out, find where the hole is, pop that up. All right, support, lock it off, so you got a nice flat surface to work with. Wastewater, just under here, there's a black hose that comes out, goes straight into a bucket. Your gas line, it comes out the same hole. Don't yank it too much, just make sure it can reach the gas bayonet over the other side. Once you grab your gas line, put it in, bayonet, push in, turn to the right, that's it, done. Then go turn your gas bottle on at the front. Okay, guys, lighting your 4-burner stove here. Turn the element on, light her up, hold on for a few seconds. 4, 5, it's through, it's burning. So when you want to turn it off as well, guys, if you're not going to use it constantly, okay, go turn your gas bottle off the front and let it run through, let it bleed, so there's no gas in the line. But remembering this, when you do this, so you're going to close the lid, still do not close this for another half an hour after this has cooled down. See the flame's gone out now? Now I won't close it now. I'll leave it go for about half an hour, all right, and then I'll close it because all this will be really hot still and can crack or shatter this. Now I'm packing your kitchen away. Make sure your tap's down, close your top for your sink, your drain hose for your sink, you just underneath and you pop it back up through the hole that's there. Make sure you've bled all your gas line as well, so there's no gas in there, and you push this one away. All right, so once you pull the gas lines through, close each drawer, latches down. Close the drawer, latches down. Your extended table bench, you fold over the top, fold the brackets in, bungee cord down, leg off, undo, drop down, blue handle down, and start to push away. Let the blue handle go. Push in, make sure it's locked, secondary lock on there, close her away. This is where your fridge slide is, okay? So undo there, hold them back, bungee cord, so holds it open, blue tab down, pull your fridge out. Now this is purpose built for an 80 angle. So de-shackle there, de-shackle at the back, so you can strap it down. So on your fridge slide, you can go through the handle, pop that through there, obviously shorten it. Basically that's just to tie it off, so you don't have any excess anywhere. So once you've done that, obviously all your tie down points are done, so front and back. All right, so it's nice and secure. So when you're going along the road, it's secured. So you won't have any problems with your fridge bouncing around anywhere. On your fridge slide, you have a 12-volt socket and you have an Anderson plug socket. So this is plugged into 12-volt, just down here, plug it in, happy days. All you gotta do is down and slide her away. Just mentioning about the fridge slide as well, guys. Yes, your kill switch, main switch, must be turned on, and also your fridge on there, or else it doesn't complete the circuit, so you will not get power to your fridge, so therefore you will have hot beer, milk, meat and such. The 17HRT is the only different one in our family. It's got the roll-out awning. So just on here, each end you got a little knob. You got to undo that. Don't wind it all the way out, because obviously it's on a little screw base. It comes all the way out. You got to try and get it back in. So just as long as it's loose, there's one at either end. So I'm just going to go down to the other end. So just undo that. So it's just a little bit loose. All right, and then up here, you push that block out of the way. Okay, so you can pull that out. So you got to move that block out, and back to this one. You got to do exactly the same to this. Push that block out the way, so it can move. Now you have a little extension on your arm. All right, so there's a little angle piece, a 90-degree angle. It comes out an inch either end. What you got to do? All right, just up the top up here. If you can see the little lever up the top, pull that down towards yourself with the hook. Pull it in there and pull it out. And that's what you got to do. Pull your awning out. All right, so you roll it all the way out. Lock it into place there, because that's as far as it can come out. These little arms, all right, they slide along. So you can slide them along, lock it into place. If you want to, you can put some pressure on that now. Do this up. You do that back up so it's nice and tight. So it gets this a little bit firm here through your canvas. On your handle, there's a little trigger. Pick your trigger up, desired level, and then you'll go do it back onto the other one. You may have to take that one back up so it's nice and level again. I need to go up a couple more on there as such, like that. And this little dangly bit, don't leave it there like that. Just wrap it around here so it's out of harm's way, so people don't get strung up or anything. And then you're done. And this is your awning. This arm here can also go down to the floor. So there's a little lever here, you undo. You take that off of there, and you pick this up and put it down so it's square to the ground. And again, you use the handle for height. Now just fixing this to the ground, obviously if you're going to the beach, you're going to need sand pegs and such, but you may want a block of wood just so it doesn't sink and such. So you've got a bigger stable platform, a bit of stability about it. Okay, so you can put that on top of there so it doesn't move at all. When you do put your arm out and it's going down to the ground, you're probably going to have to stretch out the canvas again because it's moved, all right? So just undo, push it out, so it tightens it up again. Just tighten that up so you've got a little bit more stability through your annex roof. All right, so when you're putting it away, you can just pick it up, take the lever off, come down, and the little bar that's there, just put it on there, force it in, and it just clips into place. That's it. All right, so it's secured now. When you want to fold it away and roll it back away, all it is the handle here again, the little trigger inside. Lift it up, take the pressure off, and slide it back down. All right, don't touch that one yet. Take the trigger off, slide it all the way down. All right, put the handle back. Duck under out the way, undo this so it becomes loose again. All right, there's a little button, push the button down, and then that slides down to the edge of here. They can't go any further, that's as far as it can go. And you do that both sides. Undo, so it becomes limp and loose. Button, push in, slide that down so it can't go any further. So hold that, this little button here, the lever, you pull that. Now, because it's sprung loaded, it'll start to take off. So you got to hold it. It'll start to take off, start to take off. You can have it in there. Back in its little groovy holes, slide those back in, do them back up, you're done. To extend your mattress, right, you've first got to drop the wheels and extend your van. Okay, so to drop your wheels, you got over center catches. 2 at the top and 1 pin at the bottom. So basically you got to take your gold clip out, over center catch, off there, do the other one, and then take your pin out and leave it on the bar and drop it down. Simple as that. 2 gas struts. Now these are 55 kilo wheel and tyre. All right, 2 gas struts equates to about 18 kilos, so very light. Put your gold pins back in where you got them from, and then you just repeat it on that side. Simple. So there's another advantage of this too, guys, that if you are small in stature, once you drop your wheel down, you can use that as a lever to get up to undo your over center catches up here. Then once you've done that, basically it is to unlock here. So the little black key that you got, start to unlock. Once you've unlocked it all, come to the center, you lift it up, hold it up with one hand because this one doesn't have gas struts. Barrel bolt here, undo that, swing it open, rest it on there, that's fine. All right, other barrel bolt, swing that out, it's resting on there. That has got to come down to make your base. You've got 2 locks up in the corner, okay? Again, if you're small in stature, you can use the tyres, unlock. Just remember, when you're walking from tyre to tyre, if it is wet, it may be a little bit slippery, so definitely be careful, all right? Take the weight, let it come down. Handle, pull up, it's got a slight little gas strut in there, all right? Just give it a flick so they come forward, the over center catches, over center catch goes on, pull, and tap the corners to make sure they're in the corner. Done. So when you come in, you've set up the back, and this is when you're going to fold out your mattress, guys. So you just push it away, step up, grab it, keep pushing it away with your leg, push it out, then unfold it. On your 17 HRT, in the middle of your van, just past your ensuite, is your sink. All right, hot and cold running water to this sink. You know, it's glass top and so forth, so obviously a nice little deep sink here if you're washing your dishes and stuff, a little drainer. Just next to that is your Thetford stove and oven. All right, 3 burner on top, little oven and grill underneath, so internal cooking. Okay guys, lighting your 3 burner stove here. Basically push the knob in, turn it for gas. Obviously the gas has got to be turned on at the front. Ignite, gas will come on. Leave it on there for at least 5 to 10 seconds. Let go and it'll stay lit. In your Thetford burner, there's also an oven. So therefore, when you've got a little baking tray and stuff in here, a little handle on there so you don't get burnt when you pop that in there. On the 17HRT, you have a range hood above your 3-burner stove. Turn your range hood on, over here, and lights, so you can watch yourself cook. Alright, so it's just an exhaust fan in your 17HRT. When you are cooking inside, you must remove this. Okay, so that's got to come off when you are cooking inside. Obviously, before you go on your journeys, you pop it back on. But when you are cooking inside, you're supposed to take that pad off. Alright, ventilation. In the 17HRT, this is a new fridge. It's basically a single door. What you need to do is squeeze those two little arm clips together, strap falls away, and you open it. Little freezer compartment inside, and all fridge, you got door capacity, crisper down there, and all shelves in there. So basically it's 148 litres capacity as such. In the 17, your electrical panel is out in the front boot. Basically you got to turn it on where it says fridge. So when you do turn your fridge on, alright, let's just turn it on here. Once you turn it on here, you have your settings at the top. So full, as in all the blue lights are on, so it's maximum coldness in here and such. Alright, so if you got everything cold, you may want to save a bit of battery power and such, so you might want to turn it down a little bit. Now the 17HRT, just inside the doorway, just past the fridge, at the top of your cabinetry, you'll find a microwave. It's a 900 watt, 25 litre microwave. When you have the plate in there as well, just make sure you secure the plate, because it can move around in travel. You can smash and you can break the glass, you can break the front of your microwave, so just make sure you secure that. Just in your 17HRT, it's the only one that we do with a built-in washing machine. Now there's a washing machine, so NCE 2.5 kilo washing load. Pop the lid up and such. There's two little latches on the side, push them together, take that out, washing goes in there. Alright, so this little basket, you can put other little bits and pieces, and socks, undies, whatever on top, but most of the big stuff in below. Hook that back in, lid down, close her up. More or less, I'd probably use this as a cold washing machine. It is 240, so you've got to be plugged into a caravan park to use it. If you need to get out, there's a cabinet that you can get through via the front. In your 17HRT, your ignition for your trim hot water system is just down here to the left. Basically, you've got to turn it on outside, gas on, hit the button, away she goes. If the red light comes on, it means that it hasn't lit, so you may have to purge the lines, but that's where you turn it on. To access it, it's in a hatch just over in that corner over there. Once you've turned your trim or hot water system on inside, this is your exhaust. Open this up. Now it shows you how to take this off. Basically push your thumbs in, it splits the top, it comes off. So you must release this as soon as you turn your hot water system on. So once you've lit your hot water system and you've taken your cover off, what I would ask you to do, guys, is basically come and check it at 2 minutes and 8 minutes. Come and check with the back of your hand if heat's coming out, all good. If it's not coming out, redo it, because basically with the lines that aren't purged properly, it'll light, because air blocking behind it, it's going to go out. So you might have to go and do it 2 or 3 or 4 times, so the air comes out of it and the gas comes through the lines. You've got the gauges when you walk in the door. So your water gauges here, you've got your grey water, your 40 litre and your 80 litre tank. So then you've got your remote for your projector unit. So you can change your battery types and all everything from in here. You don't have to go out. And then you've got USB and 12 volts. And then you've got double pole 10 amp inside. And that only works when you're plugged into 240, okay? So this is a dinette, but it converts into a bunk. When you want to convert it to a dinette, pick this up, you unlock it, pop that off, put it back on, there, you lock it back into place, and then you extend the leg. That's it. And then you have your dinette. Just the top cabinetry here is hanging space. You got a little mirror there to do your hair and so forth, and guys, you can trim up your beard. All right, just underneath that, a couple of shelves. All right, so I'm sure you'll find ample things to put in that cabinet. In your 17 HRT, because it's a solid roof, you get all cabinetry around the top. Just in your toilet, bathroom, your ensuite, there's another cabinet just above, so around the top, so that can store all your toiletries. With the internal windows, guys, it's got little grey buttons there. You must push that button in and move the handle. Push the button in, move the handle. Please don't just yank on it because you'll break the internal lock. All right. The window itself goes out to 3 positions. All right. Once you hear the click, stop. You go too far, you release it, it'll come back in. All right. So therefore, we go out to, see that? I released it. Once you feel the click, stop. I want to release it, bring it back in. All right. You'll hear that click. Well, you know it's locked back into place. Also, when you close them, guys, there is 2 little latches in here where you can go into the center or go completely on the inside of it. Right? If you go into the center, it leaves a little gap for ventilation. All right. So at night time, if you want a little bit of air, fine. But when you're traveling, it's got to be on the inside one, the internal one, or else you're just going to fill up with dust. Also, with your window, you have a fly screen that comes down, and you have a privacy screen that comes up, which you can go half and half if you wish. Just clip them together as such. All right, separate. Just go slowly. Don't be in a rush. You're on holidays. You don't need to be in a rush. Just push them away slowly. That's all you need to do. With your shower hatch, guys, what it is, you got a little button on here, turns the light on. You got a little swivel, so just turning of that opens up the hatch. You got a neutral switch in there. You've got an external fan that takes that out, or you got a one that blows in. All right, so you can just have it any way you want. In each one of the vans, they come with a smoke alarm. So that's compulsory, you have to come with a smoke alarm, but it's up to you as the individual to make sure you change your batteries out. All right, so yes, it comes with a smoke alarm, but you have to change it out. It's placed in certain places in the roof. All right, each van is a different spot, but you'll have a smoke alarm in every van. Above your main sleeping area, you have a hatch in your roof. Basically, it's got the same tabs as the windows. So basically, you've still got a button, still got to push it on both sides. You got a handle that swings down, and then you can open it up and push it up. There's only one setting, it's either opened or closed on this one. You have got privacy and also fly screen. You can do a 50-50 if you like, but what I will warn you against is when it's closed up and you're not using it, okay, and you have your blind across, what it does, it builds up a lot of heat, a lot of hot air in between the 2 surfaces. So what I will tell you to do is not have that closed up. I want to let the air come through, not with the hatch open, but so it circulates a little bit more, so you have a 40-degree day in between those 2 areas. It can go up to 70-75 degrees. All right, so just make sure that that's open so that filtrates through, so you don't get any warping of these 2 units. So with your aircon, it is only run on 240 or at least a 2.5 kVA Jenny, so you have to be plugged into the 240 outside to run your air. It will not run off your battery system. Also on each van, guys, in one of the drawers there'll be a little booklet. All right, each booklet will contain whatever the van has got, be it hot water system, diesel, air cons, radios, blah blah blah. There's a little satchel here, it's got everything in there, so just have a read up of it. All right, and then if you need to, you go to your user's manual and you troubleshoot and so forth from there. On your caravans, guys, it doesn't really matter if it's a 12, 14, 15 or whichever, your tyre pressures and your wheels and everything is all part about being maintenance, all right? So therefore, you've got to make sure you maintain everything. Each van has its own manual that you can download. So you can get the checklist off there and go through it so that you know what you've got to do at any particular time. Okay, your wheel pressures, all right? I always say whatever you're running on the end of your car, so it might be 40. You may have to go up to 45, you may have to go up to 50, 55, depending how you weigh your van. If there's too much weight in the back of it, you might have to up your pressures in your tyre. Basically, you just got to maintain your tyre pressures at all time. You go on the beach, you drop them to a point. When you come back on the bitumen, you'll take it up. All right. Also, for your wheel studs, 14mm wheel studs, they're the biggest ones on the market. You've got to keep tension on them. Where you supply with wheel brace, so basically it's making sure it's taut, but not ridiculously like jumping on the wrench itself. So make sure it's tight, and you've got to check it at 50, 150, 500. But also you've got to check it every day once you're traveling. If you're going on congregations for 2 or 3 or 4 days, you check it every morning. It's about a safety thing. On every one of the vans, you have a plaque on the drawbar that shows you how to do your wheel nuts up. So it's on a star pattern, okay? You don't go around any clockwise or clockwise, whichever. It's a star pattern, so it goes on evenly. Bearings, all right? If you do any salt water, beach work, anything like that, check them more regularly than 5,000, 10,000, okay? It's common sense on all of this maintenance through your vans. It doesn't matter if it's a 12 up to a 22. It's make sure you do the maintenance. On conclusion with your 17HRT, download your manuals. Must do your safety checks, maintenance checks all the time on any van, doesn't matter which one you got, but must do all those. So go out, make some memories and escape with confidence.